Ninjas, those sneaking, stabbing assassins of folklore and myth that admittedly were, and in a way are, real, but our modern understanding of them is, let's just say a little skewed from reality. They keep popping up in all forms of pop culture, from comics to video games to, naturally, anime. You have the reptilian pizza-eating kind, the brooding edgy kind, all the way to this obnoxious little shit. Who doesn't love ninjas? Well, I don't. I don't hate them, but I also don't find them particularly interesting. I was nonetheless intrigued by Ninja Kamui's dystopian future setting and promise of cyber ninjas, so I watched it and it was, well, it was definitely a thing that exists. Not in a bad way, but not in the best way imaginable either. Ninja Kamui is pretty much what you'd get if you mixed cyberpunky elements and street samurai with some jutsu from Naruto with the can't even call it the B tier, the C tier action movie Ninja Assassin from 2010. At its core, it's just an age-old revenge plot that revolves around, surprise surprise, ninjas, and if there was one word to describe it all, it would be cliché. The clan has a trio of super ninjas who are better than the best, two of whom fall in love, which is obviously a big no-no. The new clan leader abandons age-old tradition of secrecy and purity for some fat stacks, and brings filthy westerners into the fold. Lead couple then elopes, hides in the shadow, well, like ninjas, along with the brothers and sisters who also think that corporate greed might not be the most altruistic of motives, and perhaps world dominion by an evil megacorporation led by a younger and a more handsome yet equally unhinged Elon Musk is something that should maybe be avoided. But like any good revenge story, wanting to avenge your clan or traditions is not really enough, and it needs that personal touch. And so too this happy couple decides to repaint their charming little farmhouse in a nice bright red, with the help of some friendly local Sam Fisher wannabes. And so the whole ninja-themed cake is ready to be served with a hefty dose of screaming and ultra-violence. The latter being the main point of Ninja Kamui, since the story is, well, not very interesting. Thanks to, in no small part, it being incredibly predictable, but if anything, anime has shown us time and time again that you don't need a great story to make a great show. I mean, it helps, but just look at the entire genre of slice of life. Not that Ninja Kamui would fit the heartwarming wholesomeness that is slice of life, but still, same principle. Turn something with very little substance into something great. Too bad this isn't really something great, merely pretty okay. Sure, it is cool action, like really cool action, but if some ninja-themed jutsu-spiced fighting is what you're looking for, then even that kind of falls flat, when the whole system of ninjutsu never gets explained and is pretty much abandoned for mecha-like power armor battles around halfway through. Hell, the big plot point of the first half of the show is that the ninja clan is apprehensive of the main character's secret art that he was taught by the previous clan leader, this great secret that even the current big boss doesn't know, being the very thing preventing him from sending the aptly named edgelord Shinigami to hunt down his old friend the slightly less edgy Higan. And then the power suits are introduced and Higan straight up gets told that his secret art is now useless, for the flesh is weak and you should trust in the machine. And from that point onwards, the whole thing just kinda devolves into a hot mess with no real identity. So much so that at times Ninja Kamui feels like a soulless slop of half-baked ideas that never go anywhere. But hey, at least it has ninjas. And better yet, they are ninjas of the dystopian future kind where everyone is kind of eccentric. Be they edgy as fuck, fly as fuck, or a weird little man with some very alarming sexual tendencies. Too bad that, like the story, the characters mostly fail to have any real substance beyond their outwards appearance, which, to be fair, is still pretty good, even if Higan ruins his otherwise brooding and mysterious exterior by insisting on wearing the ugliest pair of shoes known to man. What are those? Really highlighting that character design needs to be a complete package. But ugly moon boots aside, the rest of the cast is pretty much what you'd expect. You have the jaded FBI agent 2 days from retirement, who, as is only good and proper, goes against the system in order to do the right thing, the young, enthusiastic FBI agent with a big secret, this guy, dead wife and a collection of even deader children, and a muscle mummy who, I must admit, intrigues me. Everything in Ninja Kamui is exactly what you'd expect, And more than once I found myself going, hang on a minute, I've seen this before. Simply because a lot, and I mean a lot, about the show feels like it's that "can I copy your homework? Sure, but don't make it too obvious" meme. But then again, if you're looking for originality, or even slightly compelling storytelling, you wouldn't be watching a show with a cover art that looks like it was lifted straight from the action flicks of yesteryear section of your local DVD rental, back in the days when DVD rentals were still a thing. This is good old violence for the sake of violence. Harkening back to the 2010s when someone decided that 80s brainless action movies could really be improved by replacing the color palette with the collection of your average emo kid's wardrobe, and lots of arterial spray, painted in stark contrast to everything else being some shade of pitch black. And it works. Is it the best thing since sliced bread? No, but it does what it sets out to do pretty well, and such honesty is rare these days. However, Ninja Kamui does still suffer from the need to have a story, and as such, everything that isn't bullet-dodging ninjas hitting other bullet-dodging ninjas in the face really hard with sharp objects feels detached. The humor is dry and out of place, and every scene that's supposed to be sad just ends up being really cheesy. Okay, bad choice of word. Anyway, as a whole, Ninja Kamui isn't bad. There may be many things to complain about, most of which I have listed above, but it doesn't change the fact that at its core, it's still pretty entertaining after you've disconnected your brain. There is nothing outright annoying about the show as long as you know exactly what you're getting yourself into and don't place your expectations too high. I can see someone who really enjoys action like this loving the show, and to the older people it's a nice reminder of a time when the world wasn't drowning in shit and things were mostly nice and simple. Unfortunately for me, however, this isn't really my cup of tea, and I found the show's seeming lack of identity to be more than a little distracting. Probably thanks to, in no small part, to the switch from fairly traditional, and I mean traditional in the pop culture kind of way, ninjas to Metal Gear, feeling kind of forced. And on top of it, totally brain-dead action like this works, but only in short bursts. That being why most of it can be found in movies, lasting only around 2 hours, and even Cyberpunk with its deep established world only went for 10 episodes of ultra-violence to avoid falling into the pit of sameness. Something that really starts to plague Ninja Kamui at around episode 8 or 9. But hey, you can always entertain yourself by spotting these scenes that every single action flick ever has. Not that needing other forms of entertainment when watching something would be a good thing. 6 out of 10, thoroughly average, unless its niche is just the thing you're looking for, but it's still entertaining. And with that, thank you for watching, and I do hope you enjoyed that. If you did, do all of the YouTube things of likes and comments and subscribes, especially subscribe because next week we're going to be talking about some Gyaru in the form of the recently finished Hokkaido Gals anime. Channel membership is a thing that you can do and get access to videos early whenever I'm not stupidly busy to actually get them out early. Incidentally, the reason why this video is a little late and kind of on the short side is because I have, well, I may or may not have developed a crippling addiction to Helldivers 2, so you can blame Super Earth for your delayed cheese content. If, incidentally, you're interested in Helldivers 2, I'll probably be streaming that sometime later this week over on Twitch. There is a link down in the description, as well as some other social links, in case you're interested. And with this, I have been Cheese, and I hope to see you next time. Ta-ta for now.